It's week 2 of the National Football League, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Jets and the Browns, and it comes your way next.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Browns in this matchup. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, but not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Taking in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. We get our first look at this New York Jets offense. Really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, second overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
Wilson going to come out throwing. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Trying to find Breece Hall out of the backfield. And now it's second down. And here are the key inactives for them in this one. And obviously, Charles, are going to be without some important names this week.
Well, hopefully those guys will be on the sidelines encouraging the guys who are going out there and helping them when they come off the sidelines during the game by giving them some tips on what they see and what they've experienced. That's true teamwork. And if you want to get to the playoffs, if you want to have a big push, you have to have that on your squad.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. Able to slither by, and he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The Browns on their way out now for the first time, and we'll also get a look at the player brought in from Houston to run this offense, and that's Deshaun Watson.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice, because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. First carry for Nick Chubb. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. The Browns at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business. On first down, it's Watson.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 23. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
The Browns really liked what they saw from Donovan Peoples-Jones in 2021 as he came into his own as a deep threat after nearly 18 yards a catch and getting nearly 600 yards total. They think they've got a long-term starter on the outside, and he picks up a first down here.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They go up the middle with Chubb, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now Watson. And he fires one, but incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
York able to send this one through, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And able to get this out to the 25. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Wilson on the hook up to Davis. First down, Jets.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. The mistake there by the offense, Charles, they tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tagged as one of the best in the league the prior season.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And the Jets set to take the field. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Hall to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. 2nd drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. And he completes it to Hunt. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
And they'll use him out in the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Another completion here to Hunt. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, this taken in by Jakeem Grant. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 17 carries, 73 yards.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 39. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Sliding out of the pocket. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Touchdown! Amari Cooper. His first touchdown of the new season. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on.
I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Well, York on now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll start on the ground. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. There's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2 yards left on second down from the 9. Watson. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They'll run with Chubb. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. They'll try again with Chubb. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. 17-0 our score after 1. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Running for it, here's Chubb. And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Jets are going to get the football back. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. They'll run with Hall. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
On first down, right back to Hall. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he'll complete this one to Berrios. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. To throw again on second down. Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you come around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now it's Wilson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Ready to take over again on offense, out comes Cleveland. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. To throw is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Again, it's Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 29-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm. But he was more than happy to dissect it with his legs for that 1st down pickup.
On 1st down, Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
first and 10 at the 11. Now it's Watson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the and a loose football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there, big fumble. New York set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Hall again on 2nd down. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Wilson to throw. Got a man, it's Berrios, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A couple of first downs, has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. But the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
This offensive line is struggling. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. There's the versatile back, Kareem Hunt, getting set with the rest of this offense for the next drive. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 9 from the 44. Watson now to throw. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. This is caught at the 20. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 36 yards on the play.
I'm seeing a lot of hands on hips in that secondary, and I suspect a lot of mumbling under their breath as well, because this defense has had no answer for the passing game here in the first half.
Now Watson, he's going to back away and call a timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this fourth down field goal try for the Browns. From the left hash, this from 37. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
That's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. On now to a look at the next-gen stats for the Jets in that first half. And not much went right in those first two quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Browns, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. Swings this out for Hunt. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now Watson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jets will take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10. At about the 32. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Throwing is Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Wilson smart to take off and run with it as he's able to pick up the first.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Wilson. Over the middle, he gets it to Berrios.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. On second down, a run with Hall.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Now Wilson.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Now Wilson on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Play action. Now Wilson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Give to Hall running right.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Hall on a give up the middle.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, sniffed that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Being chased out left toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
So here are the Browns to take over. They've got the lead right now. You remember last week they defeated the Carolina Panthers here. Good momentum. Watson on first down. And that's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Watson. And it's a fumble, and it's scooped up by the Jets, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
Straight ahead is home. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson. That pass complete to Moore. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 47 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Nick Bawden, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Well, they weren't messing around. First and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, first down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up, it's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns set to take over. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down. On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here this 3rd quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
Zuerlein now for the PAT. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he's taken down, able to slip across the 35.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. From the 41, Watson. He's got the connection to Cooper. Watson hooking up with Cooper there for the Cleveland first. To the air yet again, Watson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time, but nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, Watson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Buying, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
A lot of pressure here for Cade York. This to swell the lead to 6. York able to send this one through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, Those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. New York's offense back out there and set to go. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. There's Hall bringing in another one. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
The offense on third down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. This one left side caught by Berrios. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A beautiful fake. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb to the 43, 2nd down. The last run got 3, now here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Chubb. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field. And they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. He's got the connection to Moore. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. And he is going to have a Jets first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. From the 24, Wilson. This one caught by Davis. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And check down, complete to Hall. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
On the draw, it's Hall. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. On third down, Wilson.
He dumps this one off here to Hall.
No gain at all on the play there. That brings up fourth.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and that will bring the deficit back down to 3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
This one fielded at the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
Fourth quarter, they cling to a 3-point lead after the field goal a moment ago. And it's certainly a very critical drive with still a good chunk of time remaining.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run again with Hunt. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Watson off play action. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
Gardner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field.
A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Now Wilson over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On first down, Wilson.
This pass out wide to Hall. Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Wilson.
He gets it underneath to Hall. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 37. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Jermaine Johnson
in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long.
Hunt will try going up the middle. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Wilson to throw.
Gets this to Moore. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs.
Throwing now is Wilson. He's going to look deep for Moore. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Fourth down. Here's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25.
And New York set to take the field.
We think back to halftime, they were close to being written off. They faced the deficit, and now here's we begin overtime. They're one drive away from a comeback victory.
Think about where they started and how far they've come back from. And, look, you and I both know that when we talk with coaches, most of the time they don't say that momentum is something that factors into how they coach a ball game. Because they say each game is its own entity. The other game, everything operating momentum, and they certainly have it going in their direction right now.
I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. To throw is Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wilson. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
A handoff for Hall.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Here's Wilson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
They were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Here's the Jets punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Faking the give, now Watson.
A throw over the middle, caught by Bryant.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They go play action now. Wilson rolling to his left. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Jordan Elliott, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Cleveland offense making their way out. This is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that
oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just want to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So for the Jets, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.